Genshin Impact is dying. Whether you like it or not, we all have to admit that Genshin is going down a pretty slippery slope at the moment. And how do I know the game's dying? Well, recently we actually had a report from Sensor Tower, which we do get every single month, which reports the incomes of pretty much every big gacha game. And not just for global, it also records everything from China and Japan as well, which is great. And over the past year or so, Genshin has mainly just been on top. I mean, they've always been at the very top of this report, usually both the Chinese and the global region, but just recently this has actually changed. So if you take a look here, we're kind of looking at the top 12 here. You can see that Genshin Impact is no longer at the top. So instead we've got another Hoyoverse game, obviously it being Honkai Star Rail, and they have had a massive revenue increase. So last month they actually made 60 million, whereas this month they made 99 million, which is almost a 40 million increase in revenue. And that's probably with the help of some of the new characters coming to the game, like Sparkle and Acheron. Now I don't really think Acheron kind of fits into the whole equation here. I'm not sure if they actually counted her revenue or not, but Sparkle alone was a big enough character to probably cause this increase, which is amazing. And as someone who plays and makes content on Honkai Star Rail, I'm so glad to see it doing good, and also it's doing amazingly on the global space as well. But below Honkai Star Rail is Genshin Impact, which, as I said before, we've seen at the top most of the time. And here it says last month they actually made 57 million in February. I mean, that's still amazing, but they've actually gone down to 44 million now, which is way worse than how Honkai Star Rail have done. If we go all the way down here as well, we've also got the global version of Genshin Impact, which has also gone down, and they've seen a kind of similar drop in revenue. I'm pretty sure the percentages would be kind of similar. Now, what actually caused this to happen? Just looking at it, we've had a pretty dry season. We haven't had many massive updates, especially in the story. I think the last huge update we had was the one with the Farina story, which feels like that was like ages ago, and it's kind of insane how little content we've gotten since, and also just the lack of interesting characters. As recently we had the new 5-star Chiori, who was a Geo character, which you may know, Geo isn't a very popular element. I mean, your character has to be very, very good for someone to actually pull on it, like Navia. I mean, Navia is amazing, and she's kind of the exception here because she was such a good character. It didn't really matter that she was Geo, but Chiori just didn't really impress as many people, and this is why we're already seeing a drop in revenue, because no one really wants to pull on this banner. There's also another reason why people may not have pulled on this banner, because if you've seen the drip marketing, Arlecchino is going to be released very, very soon. If you don't know who Arlecchino is, she's a member of the Fatui, and we've seen her a lot in the Fontaine story, and people have wanted her since the game was released. We saw the whole Fatui trailer showing off all of the Fatui members, and people were very, very interested by her, calling her like the dark version of Eula and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. But now we've come around to 4.5, and she will be released as a playable character. So it seems like many players are actually kind of saving up. Maybe they didn't pull for Chiori because they want Arlecchino instead. That kind of begs the question, will Arlecchino actually save Genshin Impact from this downfall? So pretty much in short, I think yeah. I mean, Arlecchino is a massively hyped banner, and I haven't really seen this excitement for a character since, like, the Raiden Shogun came out. And if we're looking at the banners here, Raiden Shogun is probably one of the top characters in terms of revenue, and she did super well whenever she first came out. And yeah, this may be kind of an Archon buff. As you can see, Nahida is actually above her for some reason, which is kind of surprising. We've got Venti up here, and we've got Farina up here. But if you look a little bit below, we've also got the Wanderer, who, as you know, is also a Fatui member, or was a Fatui member, and people were super excited for his banner too. I mean, this made $27 million, and it came with an Ito rerun, so not many people would have been pulling on the other banner. So most of this revenue came from the Wanderer. And even if we look at this drip marketing tweet here, we can see that it's actually got 18 million views, which is insane even for Genshin standards. Because all of the other tweets here, we can see it's got about 500,000, 800,000, 700,000. I mean, you know, it still does very good, but it doesn't do as good as 18 million views and 223,000 likes. And it just kind of proves that the overall hype for Arlecchino is actually real. And this could be the reason that Genshin Impact will bounce back. And even if we look in the comments, you can see every creator under the sun commenting on this. People are super excited for this. Even people that have stopped playing Genshin Impact or just don't play Genshin Impact are super excited for Arlecchino. And honestly, it could even prompt them to come back. I mean, if you think about super negative creators like Tectone and people like that, I know I bring him up a lot in my videos, but this is a perfect example. He's very, very negative about Genshin and just kind of sticks to games like Honkai Star Rail and even Cookie Run Kingdom I've seen recently. But even he said he might even come back to Genshin, even if it's just like a little while, just to pull for her and try her out, just for Arlecchino. And this is the guy that allegedly hates the game. I mean, I don't think he hates it that much. I just think he's very critical about the game. But for someone that doesn't like the game state at the moment, coming back just for this character, it kind of proves that many other people that think like this could come back to the game as well, which in turn will boost just the player base in general, and obviously the revenue will go up from all the sales of Arlecchino's banner. Not to mention the sheer amount of videos that were released early in quotation marks. I mean, I'm sure you get what the kind of videos I'm talking talking about here, about Arlecchino's kit. Players saw these and saw her abilities and are super excited for her to come out. I mean, just looking at these videos, her abilities look amazing. I won't show them on here because obviously it's leaks, but I've seen them and they do look incredible. And obviously many of these people who aren't playing the game at the moment or have kind of taken a break from the game will probably see these videos too, and it might entice them to come back. But honestly, I just can't wait for the upcoming live stream where they actually announce her and announce her abilities and just announce everything coming with it, because I think this update is going to be way more content filled than the last one, because the last live stream was an absolute shambles and it was about like 25 minutes long, which is just so weird because it just kind of screamed that Genshin had no content compared to Honkai Star's live stream, which came out, I think it was about like a week later, and that lasted for like hours. Like, I was actually surprised at how long the live stream lasted because it lasted way longer than usual. And this wasn't even for version 2.0. I mean, that live stream was massive, but this was for version 2.1. And they still managed to fit all of this content and all of this chat around these characters and new events in a 2.1 update. And I mean, there's nothing really stopping Genshin from doing that either. So I really hope that in the next live stream, they actually step up their game, because I do feel like last update was kind of a filler update. I can't even remember what happened really. I've barely been playing. And just over social media in general, I've seen that many people were talking about like, hey, I've kind of just slowed down playing Genshin or stopped playing at all because people are getting bored of this. It's kind of clear. I mean, yeah, people are still logging in to do the artifact farming, or maybe there's new players that are doing their quests. But in terms of events and just fun stuff to do and new characters and just new stuff in general, there's really not a lot of it this update, and the state of Genshin just keeps getting worse and worse. But I really do think that an update with Arlecchino and just her being a playable character will really improve the player base and kind of give hope to all of the fans, because she's such an amazing character, and I think that the story that will come with her as well will be amazing too. And I really do hope that she provides the boost that the game needs. But yeah, for now, Honkai Star still remains on top. I mean, Acheron looks amazing, and also even Aventurine looks amazing. If you see my last video, I actually had a whole pre-analysis kind of guide video where I talked about his abilities early on. You could see whether you wanted to pull from or not, and his character looks amazing. I mean, not only does his character design look amazing, but his abilities and just overall usefulness is amazing. I mean, I haven't really seen this from any other preservation character before, and I'm super excited for him to come out. And we're not even talking about newer characters coming out like Robin and Boot Hill, who also look amazing. And honestly, I think this revenue is going to keep up for Honkai Star, and maybe Genshin won't be able to overtake it. But if Arlecchino becomes a success, maybe Genshin once again will get their space at the top spot, because Arlecchino is such a massive character, and as I said, I haven't seen this big of a response before since like the Raiden Shogun. So we'll just have to wait and see what this next update brings. But I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments if you think Arlecchino is going to bring back Genshin and kind of save it from this down spiral, because I think it will give it a boost, but maybe you don't think so. So yeah, just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. That's all. See ya.